Okay, so hi Petra, thank you for joining us this evening. Um, as you know, we invited Petra to participate in our event on the 27th of June, but she's a lady in such demand that unfortunately she had other commitments on that day, so was unable to actually join us on the 27th. But she did indicate that she was so pleased to be able to speak to our Ellevated community that we agreed to record this session, record a little session so that we can play it on the evening. So please forgive me if we have any glitches. This is actually the first Zoom session I've actually hosted and recorded, so I hope everything goes smoothly. So welcome, Petra.
Hi, good afternoon or good evening.
It will be afternoon in Barbados and evening here in Cyprus. So let me do just a formal introduction first of all for Petra. I know some of our community know Petra already, but for those that don't, let me do a formal introduction. Petra is a certified life coach, master hypnotherapist, with her background being a Reiki master teacher, and she has a broad knowledge in holistic pain management and trauma release. She worked for many years in the corporate world as a realtor in Canada, but she changed her life by learning about holistic energy balancing and healing modalities like meditation, Reiki, quantum touch, and matrix kinetics, and has been obsessed with them ever since. After all, they totally changed their life. She ended up becoming a Reiki master and teacher, and in 2011, she moved to Barbados. Her move allowed her to run all levels of Reiki courses and motivational self-development workshops in paradise. That inspired her to create her own business to help others in their development. Her business is called Relaxation and Stress Mastery, Speaks for Self, where she's been planning and managing self-development workshops and health days for the corporate world. Currently, Petra is known as one of the most sought-after retreat and workshop coaches. She's famous for helping clients plan a roadmap into their new lifestyle, change, and profit from the transformational packages that both change lives and add serious happiness to their bottom line. Since 2018, she has added even more modalities to her service. These include acupressure, transformational life coaching, Indian head massage for relaxation and rejuvenation, hypnotherapy and hypnosis, life regression, past life regression, and life between life regression, spirit release therapy. She's become a hypnotherapy teacher, and she's a member of the CTAA, which is the Complementary Therapists Accredited Association. Wow, what a lot of skills you have, Petra. We're really delighted that you agreed to record this session for us this evening. As you know, our theme for our event is mindset. And what I'd like to just kick off is to start off with one question about mindset. What comes to mind when you hear the word mindset? What's your initial thoughts on that?
Thousands of them. When I think of mindset, I think of the word creation. And mindset has 1,000 faces. So we are having a mindset in the subconscious level. We have a mindset on the conscious level where we are creating thought every minute, every second of our day. Nights we don't really create thought, but during the daytime we create so many thoughts. Plus, we are running on the background system, which is what we have learned as children, which is not always there, but it's running in the background. So mindset is created on the back burner and on the front burner. at the same time quite often. So mindset is overall a big, big subject.
Is that what some people I've heard referred to as the default network?
Pardon?
The default mindset.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Automatic thoughts we have that we.
Yeah, when I explain it to my clients, I explain it in form of our phone. If you have an iPhone, or let's say you have a Samsung, which is running on the Android system, you have the apps on your screen, but the apps are never running without the Android system running in the background. So it's the same with our brain. And when you look at the fact that our conscious mind is only 5 to 15% of the whole brain capacity we have, 85 to 95% is running on the subconscious level. So our Android system takes 95% of our brain, and the apps are taking on the outside, the functioning apps are using about 5%, 215 maximum. But so there you see, and the thing is, we are creating thought every day, thousands of them. So nobody really can create our mindset except we. I create my mindset, you create your mindset. You can be on a complete different level than I am, and yet we could live in the same household. We might have two different mindsets. Mm-hmm. You might be a very negative person. And in a lot of relationships, we have that. We have, one is always complaining, one is always seeing the negative in everything. And the other person is trying to keep above water, being positive. And sometimes it's not easy because one is stepping on the gas and the other one is stepping on the brakes. So, like I said, mindset, in my opinion, is equal with the word creation.
I also read that, can't remember the statistics, but a very large proportion of the thoughts that we have every day, we have the same thoughts, same thoughts about the same things over and over again, repetitive thinking. Some of that is good, some of that is negative. And it's the negative ones that are much more difficult to break the habits. Okay, how do you assess the mindset of your clients when they come to you for treatment? When somebody seeks you out, they either come knowing your experiences and knowing the skills you've got, so they may come and say, well, I'd like a Reiki session. I'm stressed and I feel I need to relax. Or they may come because they have some form of trouble in their life or addiction. They may come and not actually know what is best to help them. How do you assess their mindset to start with so that you know how best to help them?
Okay, so the first thing I have to say, I listen to their story. And I listen, or I read them by listening to them. So my eyes are my ears, and vice versa. When I see them acting their body language, I listen to their body language. I'm not just seeing the body language, but I listen to everything. And quite often they do come just for a Reiki session to relax because they're stressed out. And then the question is, why are you stressed out? What is the real cause of it? Is it your job? You're claiming it's your job, but when we go deeper and deeper into it, could it be some family issues that you take into your job and then your job becomes overwhelming? So there are a lot of reasons quite often why we are stressed out, not just one reason. So I listen to people very carefully. And then I see whether the problem is a deeper cause from childhood or from earlier years as an adult. it can or from trauma. So from there on, I decide what would work best for them. Quite often, I start with trauma release. Trauma release in combination with coaching a little bit, so they understand where the trauma came from, what has caused the trauma. Quite often, coaching and trauma release goes hand in hand, because I can relax somebody with Reiki or a massage, but that is not real relaxation. I need to get to the cause of the problem, and then I can decide what to do. So, and sometimes over the time of a few sessions, I find out that the person doesn't really remember anything from childhood that was bad, like a trauma or a conditioning by the parents. And then we might have to decide to go into hypnotherapy to uncover what was suppressed. So I cannot just say, okay, come on in for a Reiki session, we will fix it. It's not that easily fixed. Quite often, the fixing is in different, and that's why I do all the modalities I do, because they complement each other. If one doesn't really work the perfect way, then we can use another one to help with it. But overall, the client has to do a lot of work. I only have a toolbox. The person who is really doing the work is always the client. Changing mindset is not easy, because we are quite often conditioned by our parents, by our upbringing. You know, when they always tell you the same thing over and over and over again, eventually you believe, because you believe your parents. So then you are conditioned in your adult life because of what has been taught. Not saying that your parents didn't do a good job. They did their best, but it might not have been the right way.
What happens if you find some resistance from the client? Either you can't get to the bottom of the cause of their issue, or they're perhaps not willing to experience maybe hypnotherapy, hypnosis. What would you suggest to them then?
Well, I can sense when people are ready or not ready. If I sense that a person is not yet ready, I might step back a little bit and let things unfold. Explain to them how mindset works, how we create our own thought. And sometimes people might say, but it's not my fault that this and this happened. No, it's not your fault. It's the way you look at things. You know, if something is constantly happening within your family, you need to be aware of the fact that maybe you cannot change your family members. Maybe you just have to move on with your own life. And because you're not in control of other people or what they are doing, you're not in control of that. And you shouldn't be the people pleaser to do everything so everybody is happy about you. You shouldn't really care of what people think of you, correct? So, but sometimes I have to take a step back and start from a different angle and then explain things until they're ready for what needs to be done. It's not always black and white. There are a lot of gray zones in between. So when people are ready, as they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
And exactly. I know that very, very well from a very personal standpoint, which I'd like to share with people. When I was living in Barbados, there was a time in my life when I felt that there had to be just something more to life than the corporate world that was occupying virtually 100% of my time. And my master, Petra, appeared before me as if by magic. And I became a student of Petra's, and that's where I learned Reiki. And that was the turning point for me to get involved in energy healing. It was Japanese called a Satori moment, where I really felt there's so much more to life than that. Yeah, master was ready and the students forever grateful for that moment. How do you manage your own mindset? How do you manage your mindset when you are treating the client or interviewing the client or discovering what that client needs? Second part of the question is, how do you treat your own mindset on a daily basis to stay healthy?
All right. So keeping my own mindset healthy is just the fact that over the years, I came to an awareness that I cannot change the world. I don't give in to what they so-called conspiracy theories. I don't give in into the negativity of the media. I live in my own little bubble. And I let the world just turn around as the world wants to turn around. I don't get involved in drama. But that is something that I have learned and developed over years. It doesn't happen overnight. So my mindset is now spinning in a positive vortex compared to years ago when I was going through a rough time in my life where it was spinning in a more negative way. And when I was spinning in a more negative way, I found more and more people who were negative, or they found me, either or, right? Because if somebody was complaining about their health or about something, I would be there and I would try to comfort them, and I would get involved in their own misery. And then I came to realize that this is not me and I need to change that. So I have sorted out a lot of relationships I had back then. And ever since I have raised my vibration, my mindset, my positivity, my positive thinking, I only invite really people in who are vibrating on my level. And the ones that are miserable, they don't really want to have anything to do with me. They think I'm disgusting because I don't feed into their nonsense. And it's not nonsense for them, it's reality. They create their own reality. I create my reality. So I don't really give a damn about the negativity in the world. I'm never like, for instance, you cannot, and comes from Mother Teresa. She said once, you invite me to a protest and I'm not coming. Don't even invite me there because I'm not coming to protest against something. You invite me to a rally for. If you protest against hunger and against terrorism, I'm not coming. I'm not going there. Invite me to a rally for peace, for equality. This is what I focus on. I focus on a daily basis on the solution, not on the problem. We know the problem already. So if I spend more energy on the problem, I make the problem bigger.
That's right. And it's all about energy, isn't it?
Right. And it applies to everything in my life, not just protests or whatever. It applies to my daily life. I don't focus on the problem. The other day, my stove broke down. My oven wasn't working, and I had everything prepared to put in the oven. Well, I could have said, darn, and spin into the vortex of negativity. So no, I looked out my window. I saw my barbecue. And I thought, let me try the barbecue. Instead of the oven, use the barbecue. Close the lid. So that was my solution. And my mood was saved. But I could have gone the other way. My mood could have gone right down. But so because I'm not spinning there anymore, nobody really wants to connect with me who is vibrating on the lower level. So that brings me to, how do I care for myself? How do I manage? I manage in the mornings. I have usually a ritual when I take a shower to protect myself because I have clients coming and going all day. And they do bring in negative energy into my workspace, but I don't get involved in their drama. I get involved in the solution. That's where I focus on. I don't cry their tears. I try to make them laugh again. So, but they need to do it on their own. So I don't really get involved into the drama. I listen to the drama and I say, okay, here's the problem. What do you think of this as a solution? Okay, if you had trauma in your life and we need to release the fear, we need to release the anger, we release the anger and then we'll take it from there. So I don't really feed into this energy. However, if I have very heavy duty clients and they come and go, I try to space them out in a way that I have about half an hour to an hour between appointments. So I can jump into my little pool in my backyard, which is cold water. It's not heated except by the sun. And I jump in there naked to get rid of all the energy that is surrounding me. And as we all know, our body is an information highway. On the outside, we spin of emotions. So when you jump into cold water, you can also take a cold shower for 30 seconds.
Yes.
It works too. So, but that's how I manage in between so that new clients coming in are not affected by the past clients that just left. So I do self-care. I'm the most important person in my life. And I honor myself. I respect myself. I love myself. I love myself to a point where I vibrate in a way that I can help others. I'm more of benefit to others when I'm spinning in that vortex.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of taking on the negativity, I keep spinning where I am, and that makes I can shine my light upon people. So that's my self-care. Like I said, I'm the most important person in my life, and that's my self-care. I like to jump in my pool, naked as I am, and so I love myself.
Fabulous.
The bits and pieces to the moon and back. That is really what is most important, is you love yourself, not to a point that you are selfish. I mean, I love to be selfish, but it's not to a point where I say, I don't care about other people. I do care about other people. What I don't care about is what they think of me, or I don't care about their monkeys. I don't care about monkey. It's not my monkey. It's not my circus. So I leave it to them. And if they want to work on it, they want to work on it. If not, if they are not ready, sometimes people are not ready. And we have to respect it.
And that, what I'm hearing here is, I can certainly vouch for you being a shining light of positivity. But what I'm hearing here as well is there's a difference between the ego and the self. You said, I don't care what people think of me. The trouble is, and overriding that ego, especially when it comes to self-care, can be difficult for a lot of people. Fabulous. So I know you've spent a lot of time recently on your hypnotherapy, exploration into hypnotherapy and hypnosis. I'm just feeling quite sad that I'm not still in Barbados and I could experience firsthand some of your hypnotherapy sessions, particularly your past life regression sessions. I really would like to experience that. But hopefully one day we'll either meet up again in Barbados or hopefully in Cyprus, and I'll be the first client on your list for that type of treatment. So what's next for Petra Balamet? What are you adding to your toolbox all the time?
My toolbox is pretty full by now with all knowledge. But I do want to develop, as you know, I became a hypnotherapist, hypnotherapy teacher. And this is one thing I want to teach. I want to teach my modalities. I want to keep the workshops going so that I can pass on my knowledge to other people. My retirement hopefully is in about 3 to 4 years. And what I would like to do is, I don't really want to go into retirement per se, but I would like to semi-retire. So coming out of the treatments and going more into the teachings. And I can do that and lifestyle would be 6 months Canada and 6 months Barbados. So Canada, of course, not during the winter time, and I don't want to shovel snow again, but I would go the summertime up north and then come back down in Barbados for the winter time and do my teachings, because somebody needs to carry on what I started. I'm not the only one that does energy healing here in Barbados. Don't get me wrong, but I do a variety of things, and I want to pass that knowledge on, and I want to pass on my teachings. That's why it's so important that I got my accreditation with CTAA, so that any course that I'm teaching is accredited, which is probably in the near future a big thing.
Yes.
You know, Reiki at this moment is not regulated, but eventually we will get there. Yes. Not that I want it to be, but you know, just being prepared. That's why I took all my courses and got them accredited, and my teachings as well. So yeah, that's what's coming. Like teachings only in my semi-retirement, living up north, up and forth. I think that's a pretty good life.
That sounds like an ideal life. And I think sharing your knowledge and teaching is the most valuable service that anyone can give, whatever skills you've got. Sharing that knowledge and teaching others and passing on that knowledge so that others can share. Because what you do, I know, is not beyond the capabilities of anyone. Given the right circumstances and given the right training and the right mindset, anyone can get into energy healing, therapy, and a greater understanding of all the holistic practices that you experience. And it is so much better than traditional role. Benefits are far outweigh and outnumber.
Yeah, and by the way, since last year I have started Reiki classes for children.
I saw that.
Yes, and I have this year, because of the situation of the lockdown, I have about 11 or 12 children as clients right now. All children who are heavily affected by the lockdown, anxiety, fear, eating disorders, suicidal thoughts. I mean, it has affected a lot of children. My youngest client is 5.
Wow.
And my oldest client, like my oldest child client, is about 16. And yes, and it's everything in between. So, and they have now fun, and I suggest crystals for them to help them through the studies and whatnot. And you know, I'm a crystal freak, and so are you. So, but the thing is, now I have so many children, they want to learn Reiki.
Wow, that's amazing.
12-year-olds, 16-year-olds. So I have probably not for this year, but probably begin of next year, I will do another children Reiki course. But also they want to learn about the crystals. Wow. Children
once you get into energy,
yeah. So I think
that's fantastic to be learning that as a child. Gosh, I wish I could have learned that when I was a child and not as late in life as I did. I wish I'd known all about this many years ago. It would have, brings only benefits. So if people want to get in touch with you, want to experience some of your skills, your healing modalities, or just learn about what you do or attend any of your workshops, let's have a plug for Relaxation and Stress Mastery, where they can find you. There is a website, contact numbers,
everything. So let me just see whether we have that on here. See this.
Oh, wow. That's good. I think people can see that. So that's your Barbados phone number, your WhatsApp. They can find you on Facebook. They can find you on your website. Terrific. Great.
Good. So good thing I had this here. Yeah. So everybody, that my advice to everybody is change your mindset. If you see a problem, instead of focusing on the problem, see what the solution could be. That is a very good start.
So what is this problem teaching? What can I learn from this problem?
Another one. This is my saying. Nothing ever happens to me. Anything negative that happens in my life happens for me because I can learn. And if I don't have the experience, I cannot learn from books. I can get an education from books. But my wisdom, my real learning experience comes from experience. So I invite, like years ago, I was always the victim of the circumstances. This is how I felt. This is how I was brought up. Then I saw some benefit in some challenges. It made me stronger. It made this, it made that. And then I said, when a negative or a challenge occurred in my life, and that was in real estate, I would always say, I wonder what I can learn out of it. Right. And then I started saying, every challenge, I don't call it challenge anymore. It's called an opportunity. To. And now, you know what I say now? Bring it on. Bring it on.
Bring it on. Bring me some.
Bring it on. So because I know I can only learn, and it doesn't happen to me, it happens for me. And if you get out of the victim position and say what other people do, I have no control over. What other people think of me is none of my business, right? And just move on with your own change of thinking, your own mindset. Nobody can think for you. Absolutely nobody. You're the one that is creating it. So it's up to you whether you want to create it into this direction or that direction.
That's a wonderful gem to finish our session on. Thank you. Thank you, Petra. Thank you so much for participating tonight.
You're welcome.
I know our community is going to love this session. And we wish you all the best with working towards your retirement and also in teaching your thanks so much. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.